Good morning students and welcome back to our science class. Let's start part 2 of chapter 5, that is adaptations in plants. In last class we already have discussed about terrestrial plants and their subtypes. According to their habitats we have studied their special features. Now today we will start adaptation in aquatic plants and insectivorous plants. Let's start with adaptations in aquatic plants. You must have seen so many plants grow in the water and on the water. These plants are called aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are divided into three subgroups. First, floating plants, second, fixed plants, and third, underwater plants. Here, one by one, we will discuss all the features of these three subgroups. Let's begin with the floating plants. Floating plants are those plants which can easily float on the water. Their roots are not attached with the bottom of the water bodies. They also flow with water movement or water current. They have spongy bodies which are filled with air, which make them very light. The leaves of these plants contain chlorophyll only on the upper surface, just because their lower surface already within the contact with the water. That's why they contain chlorophyll on the upper surface, which are able to perform photosynthesis. These floating plants help to protect small insects or animals from the heat of the sun. For example, water hyacinth, duckweed, water lettuce, etc. Fixed plants or partly submerged plants. Fixed plants are those plants which are fixed to the bottom of the water bodies like river or ponds. But their leaves float on the water. Fixed plants have soft and flexible stem which can easily bend with the flow of water, which prevent them from being damaged by the water current. Plants such as lotus and water lily have broad and flat leaves to get enough sunlight and air through the atmosphere to perform the photosynthesis process. Presence of stomata are only on the upper surface of the leaf. That is why these plants easily can exchange gases and prepare food through their leaves. Now, it's a fact that water hyacinth and duckweed have lots of empty spaces in them. These spaces are filled with air to make the plant lighter than water. So, these plants can float. Now, we will discuss submerged or underwater plants. Underwater plants are actually that aquatic plants which remain beneath the surface of the water, that completely merged. That is why we also call them submerged plants. These plants are shorter comparatively other aquatic plants, that is floating plants and fixed plants. Hydrilla and tape grass are the examples of underwater plants. Their roots fixed into the bottom to the pond and make them settled in their own place. They have long, thin, narrow, ribbon-like leaves. As I told you, these are actually submerged or totally submerged inside the water. So, they cannot have stomatas. So, how they exchange their gases? They exchange their gases with their body surfaces. They have pores between the stems which exchange the gases carbon dioxide and oxygen. In that way they can survive in the or inside the water. They help to clean the water as they use the carbon dioxide given out by the aquatic animals. In the process, they give oxygen to aquatic animals. Now, can you give the answer? This is your HW. Why do we keep tape grass in an aquarium? Do it in your book. This is also your HW. Test yourself. True or false? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we will see some special adaptations of plants. There are some plants that show special adaptations either to get enough nutrients or to protect themselves. First of all, we see adaptation for obtaining food or to get enough nutrition. First of all, we see insectivorous plants. There are some plants that eat insects. They are called insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap are the examples of insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant. The leaves of the pitcher plant form a hollow tube with a lid called pitcher. Insects are attracted by the colorful markings, sweet fragrance and sticky nectar of the plant. The pitcher hangs with the lid open. When an insect sits, the pitcher lid closes. Once inside the pitcher, the digestive juices of plant act and digest the insect. Now, Venus flytrap. This plant has sticky hair on the margin which act like traps. When an insect sits on its leaf, the trap shuts. The insect is then digested with the help of digestive juices of the plant. Now we will see adaptations for protection. Many plants have poison in them. This keeps animal away from them. Animal skin starts itching on touching them. For example, poison ivy and poison oak, etc. And all parts of some plants have poison. For example, datura, aak plant, kaner, etc. A number of plants like rose, bougainvillea, cactus and many other plants have thorns which protect them from animals. Now it's a fact that the destruction of bamboo groves has resulted in endangered the pandas. Now only 1,000 trained pandas are left. Now let's do exercise. This is your homework. A. Tick the correct option. B. Match the following. Match the plant with its characteristic features. Column A, column B. C. Fill in the blanks. All these objective questions you have to do in your book. And question number D. Answer these questions in 1 or 2 sentences. E. Answer these questions in detail. D. Do question number D and question number E in your science fair notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.